Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. How's everybody doing? If you're having a hectic week, don't worry. I'm having a hectic ass week myself. Working, coming home late, doing videos, have a bunch of shit at work changing, so it's getting crazy. But don't worry, guys. We're halfway there. What is it? It's Friday, so you guys are there. I have a few more days until my Friday. But anyways, we have this Darrell Brooks breakdown. He's in the court. He doesn't question any witnesses. We have the prosecution right here asking the band director the formation of her kids, their names, just corroborating evidence to show that this was not an accident. That what Darrell Brooks did was not, something that scared him. He ran over a few people and, just it was unintentional, like none of the above. It was fully intentional. And she really helps us understand how intentional this shit was. She actually says something. This video I actually have seen before, so I already know it's about to be a good one, y'all. Anyways, grab what you need. Grab, what I say as usual. Grab the mota if you need it. Grab the juice if you don't drink. Grab any beverages y'all need. I just got the water today. We chilling. We're being healthy, and I'm gonna make a smoothie afterwards because we changing our lives out here, people. But anyways, y'all, let's get straight into this thing. Let's do it.
I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names and spell each for the record.
All right, my first name is Sarah, S-A-R-A-H. My last names are Wehmeyer, W-E-H-M-E-I-E-R, and Aparicio, A-P-A-R-I-C-I-O.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Ma'am, can you tell us where you work?
I work for the school district of Waukesha.
What was your job title during the 2021-2022 academic year?
I was the director of bands at Waukesha South High School.
What kind of things do you do as the band director at South?
Organize all sorts of events, whether it's concerts or marching band performing in parades.
How long did you hold that position?
I held the position on and off over the years for 10 years.
As the band director at Waukesha South, how frequently did you interact with the kids who were members of the band?
On a daily basis.
Okay. And did you know the name of all the kids that were in your marching band during that school year?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Of course she did. Yeah, she's a teacher. Them teachers know the names of like 60 students at a time. That shit is crazy. You want to talk about people with good memories? Go to a like a K-12 teacher's school. Like go to and ask one of those teachers like the names of her classroom and the other classroom and the classroom over. I remember when I was going to school, the teachers knew everybody's names. Like the kindergarten school grades and all that. They knew everybody's name. So yeah, shout out to her. So that shit hurt her when all those kids got hit. Like,
Did the band march in the 2021 Waukesha Christmas Parade?
Yes, we did.
Were you there with them?
Yes, I was.
Had you done that in the past?
Yes, I had.
About how many times?
Every year that I was there, we did that parade as well as Memorial Day.
Would you describe it as an event that the kids look forward to?
Absolutely.
When the band marches, are they in formation?
They are.
What about uniforms? Do they have any?
We do have uniforms, yes.
and was he pointing out that they had uniforms on? Another thing. See, these are the small things you have to point out. There's no way that Brooks could have mistook them for like a marching band or kids a part of something. It's not even like they were random. They're in file. They're in a certain line. They have uniforms on. Clearly, go the other way. Turn through a barricade. Do anything other than go through it. Dude is a sicko, bro. And I still don't get the motive, but other than he's just a fucking asshole. And I know that's not a good motive, but like, what else is there? He doesn't seem like he doesn't seem like he's a psycho. I don't know. An asshole.
Okay. When you march in formation, is this something that you practice with the band?
We do. We practice with the students that are in the marching band portion of the parade. We had also done another parade in the Dells that year, so we had practiced with that. For the students that are not in marching band, we had practiced during class time for several several weeks leading up to it.
How does the formation of the marching band get set up?
So we practice during class, and then we kind of have the general structure of what it will look like. And then student leaders within the section place the students in their places the day of the parade.
So they have a little leeway, but you don't want bass drums marching next to clarinets?
Correct, exactly. So we say these 2 rows will be flutes. So senior leaders help decide which flutes are in those located, or those specified places.
Okay. I'm going to ask that we project Exhibit 21 onto the screen for the witness and the defendant.
Permission granted.
Just let me know when you see a picture in front of you.
Okay.
I will say one thing though, he is narcissistic. He's not psycho, he's not like racist, but I will say he's 100%. He's got that narcissistic bug, man. He got that everything. I am the main character. Like, you know, there's 7 billion people on this planet right now, bro. He is the main character for sure. I promise you that. Like, I mean, there's no way around it. He's the main, he's that guy. You know what I mean? In his head. Like, that shit is crazy to me. Like, everybody in this courtroom are side characters and NPCs. You know what I mean? Like, he's the real character. Number 1.
It is here, yep.
Okay, what are we looking at with Exhibit 21? Can you tell us what this is?
So this is an aerial view of our marching band. You can see the names of the students that are identified. Those were all students that were physically impacted by the car that day.
November 21st of 2021,
Correct,
the Waukesha Christmas Parade.
correct.
Have you reviewed this photograph and the information contained in it before your testimony today?
Yes, I have.
Does it accurately represent the formation of the kids in your band on that day?
It does, yes.
I move Exhibit 21 into evidence and ask to publish.
Any position?
And see, I don't know if you guys saw my last video, but Brooks figured out how to publish for the witness and then publish for everybody. Like, he's taking notes, but the thing is, he's so caught up in trying to make everybody else look bad and make himself look like the victim that he doesn't even realize how damaging, like, when he does shit, like, he doesn't really realize how damaging it is to his case. Like, either he realizes it or he just does not care. Sorry, either he doesn't realize it or either he just does not care, because he says some wild shit while questioning these people. And it's kind of like, why would you ask that? That doesn't make you look good, you know? Like,
Exhibit 21 has received. Permission to publish is granted.
And can we zoom in on that a little bit? There we go. Can you walk us through from left to right, just identifying, I know that we can all read, but just for the record, can you read those names for us and then also tell us what instrument each of those kids is playing?
All right, so first we have Aiden Lofgren on bass drum.
damn, these must be all the injured kids, bro. Let me see the last names. That's a lot of people, dog.
Connor Tank on crash cymbals. Justin Gullickson on sousaphone. Eric Teagues, trombone. Tyler Pudliner on tenor sax. Still on the exterior, Harry Guilfoy on trumpet. Then Eleanor Anders on mellophone. Theo Mazza on trumpet. Mara Gilchrist on alto sax. And Sasha Catalan on clarinet.
What's a mellophone?
A mellophone is a marching version of a French horn.
What about a sousaphone?
A marching version of a tuba.
Have you ever seen the Ohio State Marching Band perform?
I have, yes.
I'll withdraw the question. So,
Be the Badgers.
there are 10 members of your band identified in this photograph, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Could we please project for the witness only Exhibit 15? Do you see something on your screen in front of you?
There's a map on the screen.
Are you familiar with downtown Waukesha?
I am, yes.
Okay. Do you recognize what we're looking at in this map?
I do, yes.
Okay. Exhibit 15 was previously received and published. I'd ask to publish again. Do you see a yellow star between Barstow and Gasper Streets on Main Street?
Yes.
And you see the line connecting that yellow star to a box with some green background and some names
I do.
under the banner of Waukesha South Band.
Correct, yes.
Take a moment, take as much time as you need, read through those names in that list. Let me know when you're done.
Okay.
Are the names on that list identical to the names that you previously told us about in Exhibit 21, that photograph of the aerial view?
Yes.
That's very relevant. He's saying objection irrelevant, bro. This is the list of people that you hit, and in their formation, you have the picture and you have the list. How's that irrelevant? That's the most relevant shit of the case right now.
She did
Idiot.
answer. I believe she did answer, and her answer may stand. Did the jury all hear that?
Can you tell us what happened while your band was marching between Barstow and approaching Gasper Street on Main Street on November 21st of 2021?
So I was towards the front of the band. That tends to be where I typically am because if you can imagine a typical parade, there's a lot of stopping and starting as the band is going through the streets. And so I am in connection with our drum majors. Those are the student leaders who have the whistles that give the students the command when they should be forward marching and when we should be marching in place. So I'm helping look ahead to see what's coming down the road while the students are busy playing their instruments. The streets had just narrowed as we got into that point, and there was a lot of enthusiasm in the crowd, and I could feel the energy from the students. And all of a sudden I heard something going on, so I turned around, and at first I thought there was an emergency vehicle or something. I could tell there was some sort of a vehicle trying to get through.
Yeah, you would assume, and the thing is, his shit was red too, so you would assume, like, oh, it's one of those little fire trucks. You know those red fire trucks that be running through the city and shit, actually driving reckless as hell, man. But either way, I'd be like, all right, it's time to get out the way. But then when you realize it's not even slowing down for people who clearly can't get out the way, that's when you realize, like, what the fuck? Like, yeah.
And then I started just seeing things flying in the air. And
Damn.
I realized this was not a vehicle waiting for people to move out of the way. I realized this vehicle was running over people. The students around me, we all kind of dispersed at the same time. I thought in the initial moments that it was an accident, but then as I turned and the car went immediately past me, and I could see that the driver was staring straight ahead and knew that, could have clearly seen that they were running over people.
Another damning testimony, baby. She saw the driver. You know what I mean? Crazy. Driving through people. And we saw the video. Well, I mean, if you go on Patreon, on my Patreon, people are flying in the air. It's actually fucking crazy. It's like, so I will say, all these witnesses are saying one thing in common, that the driver kept going.
What happened next?
My first impact was to run after the car for a moment, and then I realized, because I watched them run over the people in front of me as well, and then I turned around and I saw my students all laying on the street and screaming. A police officer immediately, what felt like at the time, immediately came running, shots fired. And so my students who weren't injured were all dispersed, and I was trying to, at the same time, watch over my students in the street, but keep an eye on where the other students who were going so that I could make sure they were all safe as well. But I stayed in the streets so that we didn't know where the shots fired were coming from, so I wanted to make sure that those students in the street were safe as well.
And just to clarify, you mentioned that you heard from a police officer that shots had been fired.
Correct.
You yourself, with the trained ear of a band director, didn't hear any gunshots?
I did not hear gunshots, no.
Okay. I'm going to ask that we project on the screen for the witness only, exhibit number 24, please.
Permission granted.
And can we make sure we're playing this at normal speed? And we're going to turn the volume off while we identify, so we'll leave it off there. Just going to play a few seconds without any volume, and then I'll stop and I'll ask you a question, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we've stopped at about 5 seconds into the video. Do you recognize this video?
Yes, that is our band performing.
And I'm not sure how familiar you are with downtown, but do you know the businesses that your band is in front of right now?
We're by Davino Gelato and Martha Merrill's.
Okay.
And then the Alo Chocolate and everything is on the other side as well as an apartment building.
Okay. Have you reviewed this video before your testimony today?
Yes, I have.
Does it accurately depict what happened to your band the
Yes, it
afternoon of the
does.
parade? Move Exhibit 24 into evidence and ask to publish.
Any position, Mr. Brooks?
Objection. If the witness has seen this video before, how would that corroborate with the testimony?
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. Exhibit 24 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
We are going to play this entirely through. It's 30 seconds long. We're going to play it once with the audio at normal speed. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you can imagine what happens there. So that was pretty much, the defense. Not the defense. That was pretty much the prosecution breaking down with the band director exactly what happened. So they had the other woman who was just leading the band, one of the teachers, and then they have the band director who has knowledge of the entire formation of the band. You know what I mean? So it's just putting this picture together for the jury, like over 1,000%. We've passed 100% sure, over 1,000% sure that it was him, and it was intentional. You know what I mean? Intentional. But anyways, y'all, that was a quick video for y'all. I'm going to keep on going with these Darrell Brooks witnesses until they're all done. We're going to keep up with that Ruby Frankie case, too, because that shit is actually wild. But until then, people, I love you guys. Stay inside. Stay safe. I'm out of here.